Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another special edition of the Big East Rewind. Chuck Everson here, and my partner Sonny Sperra, as always. And we're presenting to you a bunch of mini shows, if you will, of the stuff that we did while we were at Macy's Herald Square for the starter drop with Carl Banks and G3, and we had a great time there and met a lot of people. It was interesting. Setting up that way, doing things live. The only other live show we've had, Sonny, was when we sat in Coach Carnesecca's kitchen, right?
Yeah, that's a tough bar to pass, isn't it? That's a pretty high bar.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
and,
think
and you had to learn, it sounds simple, but you got a hand mic, and some of these, I'm passing the mic around, and I don't know whether I'm catching, myself or not. So
it
it
required
was
some
interesting.
flexibility, that's for sure.
Yep.
You
Yep.
had to be adaptable and flexible.
So we've got a bunch of content coming out to you guys, not only in shows, but we have a lot of stuff on our Facebook page that's being posted, and on X, on IG, on TikTok, et cetera, to keep you all informed and entertained, hopefully, during March Madness and beyond. And one of the guys we met, Sonny, this guy, I love this guy. If you're a Villanova fan at all, you have to love John Ermilio, aka the Villanova hat guy. Everybody knows this guy, Sonny. It's unbelievable.
Heck guy, the
The hat guy.
Susquehanna Heck Company?
Susquehanna, yeah. So he he's the guy that dances around in the audience, and he always winds up on the jumbotron. You know, no matter where we're at, whether it's at Villanova, he's actually on a couple of the March Madness commercials that are out right now, Sonny. You see John twirling his hat around. So
So
we
he's
had
bigger, he's a
John.
bigger, he's a bigger attraction than us, let's just say it.
He is. And it's funny because you go to games, and if you see him, he's a lovable guy. He really is. He's an older guy, and
Mhm.
he's just a nice person. And so people come up to him, and he's more than happy to take selfies with you and take pictures.
Nice
We saw him. I
paisano.
got to I got to know him in the 16 championship run at the Final Four, and he talks to me online. He's asking questions about the program now. He's kind of my buddy in a small way, but he is the guy at Nova to get the crowd riled up and everything. And the guy has been doing it for a number of years, and he's never not enthusiastic. He's probably almost as enthusiastic as our good friend John Fanta. Not quite.
Not quite, but close.
Close, very close. So John was gracious enough to join us on one of these shows that we did from Macy's, and he gave our point guard, our resident point guard, Sonny Sparrow, some new moves. So check it out right here on the Big East
Let me
Rewind.
tell you, you want a little pressure. Somebody puts you on the spot and you got to do Dancing with the Stars, and you're pretty clueless to begin with. That wasn't fair, but I'll take one for the team. It's not going to
Yeah,
be
well,
pretty. You're
I'm
not going to,
sorry
it's,
about that, but it was
Listen,
more organic that way. And
trust me. I'm not going to,
and
Bruno is not going to rate me very high on Dancing with the Stars, okay?
Bruno Tamioli, that's right. Listen, it was a lot of hand movement. I didn't see a lot of, gyrations, but you got into it. Once you got your hat, you had to have a hat.
Had to have
Once
a
you
hat.
got that, everything fell right into place. So check out John Emilio with Sonny and I at the Big East Rewind from Macy's Herald Square. So we're here at Macy's at Herald Square for the Big East Rewind. Sonny and I are on site for the drop of the starter jackets, and we ran into one of the most famous Villanovans you'll get to see. If you go to any games, you'll always see my man, John Ermilio, a.k.a. the Nova Hat Guy. How are you, John?
Pretty good. We're doing good.
That's good.
Last night we got some hope.
That's true. I think we're in good shape. We got UConn tonight. Let's see how that goes, right? Well, you're going to bring everybody luck.
Well, we're going to bring. Oh yeah. Well, I changed hats.
Well, I want to get to that. I want to ask you that. Sonny, I don't know if you know about John. John is famous for dancing around in the aisles, and the next thing you know, he's on every Tron in the country. Every time we play, he's always on the screen, on the big screen. So, how did that whole thing get started?
Well, it's Pitino. Rick Pitino was in Philly,
Okay.
coaching Louisville,
Yep.
20 years ago. It was Randy Foy's team.
Okay.
Alan Ray, we had a great team. And we won the game 61-62. And my seats are 3 rows behind the visitors' bench. And the students are always going, stand up on your feet. I get up, I'm having a good time. I think everybody's up behind me. I didn't know I'm the only guy. And then next thing you know, I hear people cheering.
So you had the leather. It was a different hat. It wasn't a pork pie hat like this. This is kind of Run DMC like now, John.
$20 hat. It was bought it in the streets of New York. It was a piece of plastic, supposed to be leather.
Right.
Every time I waved it, I would hit people with a piece of hat.
Yeah, it got to be more duct tape than hat.
I duct taped it every year because it became good luck. Because that was by coincidence, Archie's.
Okay.
And then when I got involved with Archie's freshman year, and that's when it really exploded.
So what's your affiliation with Villanova, though? Your son was a professor there?
My son teaches there. My father went there.
Okay.
My uncles, my cousins, my brothers, my both children, and now my son teaches there. So we are Villanova.
Well, that's great. That's great. And everybody loves you, John. I mean, everybody talks about the Nova Hat guy. You're a legend. So speaking of being a legend, okay, we have a lot of Big East legends.
Yeah.
You gotta show Sonny, my point guard, because the point guard has got all the moves. The big guys don't get to move very well. You got to show.
For that.
That's right. Well, I used to stand on the box. You know that, Sonny. Not like today. I wasn't shooting threes. So you got to show Sonny some of the moves that have made you famous, John.
I ask my grandchildren for new moves. They give me new moves.
Are you working on this stuff in the living room or something with your grandkids?
Sort of. Yeah. Because new moves are important.
Well, yeah. You keep it fresh.
New moves like this that I got in
All right.
the
Well,
islands.
are you ready, Sonny? You up to this?
No, I'm not up to it, but I'll give it a try.
Your kids are going to love this.
This one's easy.
All right, here we go.
Come on, son.
Easy.
1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I believe he's got it, folks. Now, you came in. You had some hat waving stuff and what? Yeah. So give him a hat. Here, give him a hat. This is a little big for you.
Well.
Give him a hat waver. Go ahead.
It's a whole body.
Whole body.
It's a
whole- yeah.
You can't just wave. It comes from the feet.
From the
From
hips.
the feet.
It comes in
The hips?
The hips. See, you got to be really excited about that three-point shot.
That's right. You got to get excited, Sonny.
You got to really get up there.
You are an honorable member of Nova Nation. You know that from the 16
I
championship.
better be now.
Yeah, 100% you are.
This is really cool.
All right. Well, listen. Good luck today, John. I know we're going to see you on the big screen at the Garden.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and do you have? Speaking of that, do you have like a checklist of all the big screens you've been on, like for famous places like Madison Square Garden?
No idea. Mostly Madison.
I know
Square
people
Garden,
send you
Wells Fargo.
pictures. I know that.
Yeah, I get wherever.
And you're walking around, people take selfies with you all the time.
Ah,
So
yeah,
thank you for being such a great fan.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
guys.
for supporting
Thank you.
us.
Appreciate
And
it.
thank
Part
you
of the
most
Big
of all
East.
for supporting Villanova and the Big East.
Yeah, it really is.
John Ermilio, the Nova Hat Guy, right here on the Big East Rewind.
The Big East Rewind was produced and directed by Nick Chico Chorus and Daryl Gurney. Also on our camera, all our technical stuff that we did at Macy's Herald Square was produced by Billy Papamanuel. We thank Billy for all his hard work and what he did to help us with a different experience for Sonny and I. And of course, check us out on the SiriusXM app. Check us out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts from. Thanks a lot for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.
Click like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Have a good one, folks. Appreciate you all.